O seu caminho mais fácil pra lá, mas que trem. Vamos lá.
What is this place?
Somewhere long forgotten by everyone. It used to be a grand building. Now it's nothing more than a pile of rubble. No one comes here anymore, nor does anyone care about what once happened here. Although, it was before I became a harbinger, and before Linny and the others joined the House of the Hearth. Due to certain events, I first killed Clairvy and then her mother. And this is where it all happened.
You were the one that killed Clairvy?
Patience now. Allow me to explain Clairvy's side of the story first. I'll start from the beginning. Clairvy was 6 years old when she was brought by her mother, Crucibina, to live in the House of the Hearth. From the outside, it seemed like a fairy tale. A thriving family made up of Crucibina was the knave at that time, and the House of the Hearth was under her control. She was Clairvy's mother by blood, but she was also the mother to all the children in the... Clairvy was happy here, for a time. But she quickly realized that being part of this family wasn't a fairy tale at all. It was a kind of purgatory.
Purgatory?
Exactly. The House of the Hearth takes in war orphans from all over Teyvat. But as for how to raise them, that depends entirely on the person in charge. Crucibina came up with a novel idea. She would teach the children to fight, force them to duel each other, and then crown as the king of the house the child who proved them. It's difficult to estimate the number of children who died or were maimed in the process. There's little I can say about the ones who died. The ones that emerged with permanent injuries, on the other hand, they would be handed over to the doctor to be experimented on, or sent away on dangerous missions. Nothing more than tools to be used and then discarded.
So those were the experiments Clairvy was talking about. But you said that Clairvy was Crucibina's daughter, so if Clairvy tried to convince her to stop what she was doing, Crucibina probably would have listened, right?
Despite being Clairvy's mother, Crucibina cared little for her daughter. She forced Clairvy to join the House of the Hearth only as a means to demonstrate her own impartiality as a mother, to prove that she treated all her children. Clairvy did try to convince her mother to change her ways, but it was to no avail. After her efforts failed, the only other option was to rise up and try to fight back. Unfortunately, the other children had already been thoroughly indoctrinated. Of course, there was one exception. Someone Clairvy's age, who knew the truth about the House of the Hearth. Her name was...
Wait, the friend that Clairvy mentioned?
Friend, huh? I suppose we can call her that for now. Clairvy was a cheerful and passionate person with a tenacious spirit. Peruere, on the other hand, was rather cold-blooded.
Sure.
Her cold-blooded nature allowed her to see through Crucibina's facade. Yet, it was also this cold-bloodedness that prevented her from acting against it. At least at first. While Clairvy longed for freedom, Peruere was convinced. Despite their differences, the two became fast friends, united by their knowledge of the truth. Clairvy told Peruere that she hoped to create a real family, where no one would be killed or sacrificed. There may have been a certain naivete to her ideas, but Clairvy proved her determination many times over. She tried countless times to run away, ask for help, or expose the truth. But her efforts only earned her beating after beating. Even with her body racked with pain, she would still stand on her tiptoes and open the window at night. She and Peruere would look out at the moon together.
Oh no. What?
Her hopelessness resulted from a culmination of things. 10 years had passed. 10 years worth of failure after failure. She and Peruere weren't children anymore, but finding any chance to escape still seemed as hopeless. It was during this time that Peruere suggested a new plan. If escaping was out of the question, why not take down the Clairvy rejected that proposal. She claimed that, as a famous harbinger, Crucibina possessed an unimaginable amount of power. Clairvy never gave another reason, but Peruere could see it written all over her face. Clairvy still thought of Crucibina as her mother. If she couldn't escape and fight back, then only one option remained. Precisely. Death was the only way that she felt she could be free. It happened during a duel. When she arrived at the dueling ring that day, her partner turned out to be none other than Peruere, the very person that had stood by her side all those years. It was a fierce battle. But from that moment on, Peruere's journey was one written in flames. When the rain finally came and washed it all away, there she stood. It was the very result she had predicted 10 years prior. Even then, she believed she would make it until the end. She wasn't surprised by the fact that she emerged as Mother's undisputed heir. Rather, her success left. She was unsettled. And there was only one thing that could quell that sensation. Perhaps you two would like to take a guess.
Crucibina, you mean?
Correct. This is the place where Peruere killed her best friend. A mere year later, this is also the place where she fought to the moment she acted. Any conception of what was right or wrong ceased
Oh,
to matter.
Gabi, sai daí.
It's one of the principles of the house. Only those who survive get to write the rules. Peruere won the battle, and became a harbinger herself. After which Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa, bestowed upon her a new name.
So the Perry Clairvy was talking about, it was you all along. You're Peruere.
I left that name behind long ago. I must say, after I defeated Crucibina, the moniker of Mother died with her. I chose to forego the title she called herself, and even chose to give up my own name. And that is where the story ends.
Yeah. Based on what you just told us, Clairvy wasn't a little kid when she was killed.
I suppose you could call her an illusion born of flame. Her existence is like ashes to a fire. So, you see, a certain power runs through my veins. It's not unlike a curse. My flames leave behind, of course. The chances of those shadows morphing into a sentient entity are exceedingly slim. Clairvy died when she was 16 years old. But what emerged from the flames was her 6-year-old self. Her appearance wasn't the only thing affected. Most of her memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memories will alter your sense of self.
No wonder Paimon got such a weird feeling when we were talking to her.
Perhaps I should put it this way. Clairvy is someone trapped in time. It may seem like she exists with us in the present, but she truly lives.
So if all of that is true, then you must have known about Clairvy for a long time.
Indeed. She's a rather volatile and unstable entity, but other times she would hide from me and become Shadows don't have the capacity to learn or grow. Any new information, your attempts to expose Clairvy to sunlight. They failed, yes? The reason is actually quite simple. In Clairvy's mind, the house is impossible to but. No matter. All I have to do is kill her again, and all will be resolved. I don't anticipate so much as a single speck of ash will be left behind this time.
Wait! Paimon can understand why you might want her gone, but isn't there another way? So what if she's trapped in her 6-year-old self? She's still your friend! At least talk to her first!
It's too late for that. She broke the rules, and now she must be punished. That goes for Filial and Nantoy as well. I hope you understand. The difference between Crucibina and myself lies in our formulation of the rules, not our policy for enforcing them. Upholding...
Is this really what you want to do?
Whatever could you mean?
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Whether as a killer or as a father, there are two things that must be avoided at all costs. Anger and sorrow. Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver. Well, it appears it's about time to proceed. Before we arrived, I told some of my well-behaved children to bring our troublemakers here by nightfall. I do believe I've kept my end of the deal. I gave your friends quite a bit more time.
Here they are, Father.
You gonna execute him? Seeing something like that, Winnie!
I'm sorry. I heard about how you helped buy us more time. But I still failed. I couldn't find a way to fulfill her wish.
Huh? Are you...
Indeed, it's been a while, Clairvy.
Harry!
Shh. Stay right there. I'm sorry to postpone our reunion, but first I believe certain scores need settling.
Father, let me explain.
Out of my way.
Father!
You chose to conceal a threat to the house. And for that, Overall, however, I suppose your wrongdoing is hardly the most egregious of the bunch, so I'll deal with your punishments later. As for right now...
By traitors? Do you mean—
Father, let me explain. We didn't mean to—
Fultz, why don't you share what you heard?
Yes, Father. Secret Midnight Meeting number 3. Participants, Filial, Nantoy, Sato, Toddy. Nantoy clearly said, if only Father wasn't the one who took... Sato added, I'm sick of this life. I just want Filial was the worst of them all. She called us crazies and said a bunch of mean things about
I did not! You're lying! Fultz is trying to frame—
It's not like I'm the only one who heard those things. After that, you and Toddy and a bunch of other people started talking about Clairvy. You were using all those things Clairvy brought up as an excuse to question Father. We're birds locked in a cage. The only way out is to destroy it. That's what you said, wasn't it?
You little— You just want me gone, don't you? What did I ever do to you, huh? And you, Sheplo, have you forgotten who stood by your sickbed, watched over you, and changed your dressings? Come—
You're wrong, Filial. We don't want you to die. You're our family.
Liar. You wouldn't be doing this if that were the case. So why? Why?
We all live in the House of the Hearth. You know the type of work we do, Filial. A single betrayal can cost dozens of us our lives. It's not like it's never happened before. That kind of thing is hard to forget. That's why the House of the Hearth cannot tolerate any form of betrayal. Ever since we came to Poisson, you've had 7 secret meetings. A lot of the things you talked about really—
You've been spying on us for half a month? Wait a second. Now that I think about it, the move to Poisson was just a way to make it easier to spy on us, wasn't it? Because we were all in one place.
Filial, Nantoy, I owe you both my life. I owe Clairvy too. If it weren't for all your help after I got poisoned, if this were any other situation, I would do anything to repay that kindness, even if it cost me my life. But
Why?
that's enough, Filial. We made a mistake, and we should own up to it. I'm sorry, Chapleau. Faults, we...
Chapleau, according to the rules of the House of the Hearth, how should these...
all those who betray the house.
And so it shall be.
Father, please wait!
Something you want to say?
Please reconsider, Father. What Filial and the others did. We all come from broken families. From the very first day we joined the House of the Hearth, we wanted nothing more than to make it a real home. But the truth is, none of us know what a real home should look like. I'm not saying I have all the answers. All I know is this. Killing Filial and the others may uphold the rules, but so please, Father.
I agree with Linny.
Father, please. Linny, you... I also agree with Linny.
An order once given cannot be rescinded. However, given the extent of your determination, I suppose we shall have to go about this.
Our weapons?
Father, are you referring to a duel?
Precisely. The rules of the house will not be altered. Traitors must be punished. However, resolving disputes with a duel is also one of our rules, one that also applies to me. Demonstrate a sufficient showing of strength.
Wait.
Impossible. Father is way too strong, even for Lenny. Did you hear that, Traveler? Lenny and the others have to duel the knave. What should we do? Can they if they lose, those people from the house are really gonna be executed.
Don't you want to say a proper goodbye at least?
Anger makes you impulsive. Sorrow causes you to waver.
Oh. Looking at that expression on her face, she seems really serious about this. Guess that means there's no chance she's throwing the...
When guests are around, families are often on their best behavior. And any disputes are...
When the time comes, make the choice that you deem most appropriate in the situation, and lend your help to the...
What's wrong? Traveler? Hey, where are you going?
Traveler?
You're asking to join the duel against the knave?
I'll allow it. We do have a ready-made dueling ring at our disposal, after all. All I would advise is this. Keep a firm grasp on your weapon, and give it your all. Any less, and you may just lose your life.
Eita. Esse time não tá legal.
What pitiful attacks! I thought I taught you better.
And voila!
Now that's more like it.
Make yourself a room.
Solidify!
Now disappear!
Hang in there! With the fall of darkness, destruction shall rise. Have a taste of purgatory.
Stabilize.
I really have to draw my blade. Is it my turn now?
Solidify.
The countdown has begun. And voila! Fly tangled in a web. With these rising flames. And voila! Is it my turn now? Closer now. Over here! Not bad. You've proven to be a worthy opponent after all. Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Gather. See me like
Who's next?
this.
That she deserved to leave.
Solidify.
Temple of Wisdom.
Now disappear!
I see everything.
Now's our chance!
Over here.
Gather.
The sun and moon have set. Only ruin remains.
Struggle in vain. Watch out for Father's movements! Look out!
Everyone hold hands.
Your punishment made manifest.
Stabilize.
Now's our chance!
Over here. I see everything.
You should know better than to crowd in one place.
Oh, I know.
Now! I'm sorry, Father!
Sorry for what? This pitiful excuse for an attack.
Father, no!
Made it out, did you? You're stronger than I expected.
Crimson, Moon. I can't move.
Still, not strong enough to beat me. I believe we can end things here. It's not often that we get to enjoy the company of guests, after all.
Brother, are you all
Linny, given that I am the victor of this duel, as agreed, the
No!
I never thought things would end like
However, everyone involved in the duel demonstrated a remarkable level of strength and determination. In light of this, Elwar, the bottled flames I gave you for safekeeping. Do you still have them?
Yes? I wasn't sure what they were for, but I've kept them
Wonderful. Then, in just a moment, I'll have you administer them.
bottled flames?
Indeed. They're the product of a secret experiment. Under certain special circumstances, flames can be extracted from once ingested. Searing pain will spread across every inch of your body. No harm will come to you physically, but your memories will be burned if you can withstand the pain. When you awake, you'll have forgotten everything you know about the House of the Hearth. In other words, administering this concoction will kill the version of you that grew up. Memory is a mysterious thing indeed. Losing a portion of your memory.
So, you're just letting...
You misunderstand. Memories are extremely important. Once consumed by flame, the version of you standing before me will die, and our secrets will die with you. So no, I don't intend to just let you go, because...
Even so, I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry I let you down. But I really...
Don't cry, Filial. You haven't left the house yet, so there are still rules to be followed, yes? Remember what I taught you. Anger makes you impulsive, sorrow causes you to waver.
Of course.
Dry your tears, and go pursue the life you really want.
Yes, Father.
Chaplot, Foltz, Elwar. Take them back. I prepared 3 extra vials of bottled flames. As for whether to take them, goodbye, children. The next time we meet, I will know. Thank you for all you've done for the house.
Father.
Let's go.
Here, grab my arm, Linny. I'll help you walk back.
Thank you.
Clairvy.
Can we talk now? You really are Perry, aren't you? I haven't seen you. Wait, did I somehow travel to the future on accident?
Neither. You died, Clairvy. That's what happened.
You could have at least sugarcoated it a little. Look, she's speechless. Oh. Huh? That's it? Yep. If that's what Perry says happened, then I believe. Plus, I don't really need to know why I'm like this. I'm more curious about what happens in the future. If you're a harbinger now, Perry, can you tell me about it? I want to.
You never stopped trying to defy fate. At first, no one believed you. You could only vent your frustrations to the moon. In fact, you often sought comfort in the night sky. You wanted to see the aurora. Later on, you tried to run away, but you were brought back each time. Mother spared your life, but it wasn't out of kindness. Instead, she decided to make an example of you by... Still, you never gave up. Mother hoped that through ruthless duel after ruthless duel, she would be able to crown an ultimate victor among the... But you called on everyone to unite, to fight to a draw in order to reduce casualties. Your effort, you tried everything you could think of, but every attempt ended in failure. Still, you never turned your sword on Crucibina. For the last 16 years of my life, I've done everything I can to fight for freedom. But now, I realize that the only freedom I
never imagined I would say something like that. I must have been feeling really worn down, but somehow, I still think I understand. According to Mother's plan, if I could do it all over again, I still don't think I would make a different choice.
Is that so? Even now, I'm not sure but as the head of the House of the Hearth, and as the children's father, I've tried to give them the most... It's something I discussed with the Eudex of Fontaine. The children who want to leave the house will have their memories wiped clean of all secrets pertaining to the organization. In return, they will be allowed to live in... Of course, I won't simply hand freedom to them on a silver platter. They have to fight for it and prove themselves worthy of it.
That's more than enough. That's exactly the kind of life, you know, Perry? I think you're a pretty amazing king. I'm really happy that you're the one who took over the house. I guess I do have one regret, though. I still haven't seen the outside world.
Well, it just so happens that our dear guests over here have been to many nations and traveled to countless places.
Really? Of course! We've traveled all over the place. We've got